Hello, Aquano here, and we're back for another Trails in Sky first chapter guide. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for the Zeiss, best quartz build video, but I'm gonna be releasing that one tomorrow. First, I wanted to make a video about the Zeiss Factory. So for the room 1 arc, I kind of skipped the Sepith farming video because you didn't get that many better orbments, and the method was kind of repetitive, so it was the same thing. So I didn't really think it was that important. I just showed you guys the location of the cave and that's it. But in Zeiss, that is a completely different story. When you arrive in Zeiss, the first place in Zeiss that you come to is the Zeiss Factory, because Zeiss is the technological capital of Liberl. And this guy is one of the most important NPCs in the entire game, because he is the one who will be giving you access for the first time to some of the best quartz in the game. So you see how, like, in the beginning you had defense 1, then you had defense 2, now you have defense 3. I'm just telling you right now, there is no defense 4 or attack 4 in this game. There will be in the sequel, because the sequel is a straight continuation. Your characters keep their levels. But in this game, it will stop at 3, which means getting these orbments is very important, because they will never get power crept. Now, in this game, unlike the original game, it's not really a waste to buy orbments that are not the strongest, because you can actually fuse two orbments that are the same to make the upgraded version, and that is by customizing the quartz. And this is something that you really need to keep in mind. Some of you guys might have not interacted with this mechanic yet, but fusing quartz is really important, especially at this part of the game, and that's why I wanted to make a Zeiss Factory, mainly for this mistake. Do not buy quartz right away, okay? Because these quartz cost 1,000 each. They can be pretty expensive, even if you've been farming Sepith. Getting like as many as you want might not be accessible, so you need to fuse them. Fusing them, though, is a bit tricky because it requires Umaterial plus, and it requires 2 of them for each level 3 quartz, and that is quite a lot. So you will have enough, to maybe like fuse 4 of them, 3, maybe like only a couple of them at the beginning, but as you explore the Zeiss region, you will find many more. So before talking about what the highest priority quartz is, let's talk about the Umaterial plus. So the Umaterial plus, there's about like 3 ways to find Umaterial plus. First of all, there are rewards that give you 3 Umaterial plus, like here. These gives you a Umaterial. You can fuse Umaterial into Umaterial plus. I'm gonna show you guys right here. So if we go at the bottom, yes, you can fuse Umaterial plus with 5 Umaterial, so you can get a lot of Umaterial from the rewards. Second source of Umaterial. Make sure to explore the entire Zeiss region. So as soon as you reach a certain point in the story, very early, by the way, in chapter 3, you will unlock the possibility to explore the entire Zeiss region. I loaded my save here. That is very early in the stories. Do not spoil you guys things. But this is very early in the story. I didn't do much, and I already had access to exploring the entire Zeiss region, well, almost the entire Zeiss region. I didn't go to the Ilmo village, just to not advance the story yet in this save file. But yes, you can literally explore everything and see all of those chests and all of those monsters that are like stronger and in these areas. A lot of them will give you Umaterial plus, so if you don't have any, make sure to go explore. For example, I am pretty sure this chest right here gives you a Umaterial plus, which is worth 5 Umaterial. So make sure to get as many as you want to fuse the things, because why waste your level 2 quartz that you bought early in the game, you know? Why waste them? Might as well combine them to make better quartz. Now, the Umaterial plus is also used to upgrade your weapons, and that's for sure will be important. Now, I do recommend upgrading Joshua's weapon first, because he will be doing a lot of damage, and you can hold on Estelle and Tita's upgrade weapon, especially since you might find a better weapon in a chest in this chapter for better weapons. But I think fusing your quartz is a better use of Umaterial plus, because, for example, getting as many action 3s as you can is gonna be key. So you probably had a lot of action 2s, probably 4 of them, or 3, but try to fuse all your action 2s into action 3s, because action 3 is gonna be the best quartz in the game. 30% speed is absolutely bonkers. It will allow you to play a lot more often in the game. So let's talk quartz priority now. Which one should you upgrade first? Like I just said, action 3 is a no-brainer. But after that, you will have to take into account 2 things. First of all, which kind of Sepith do you use the most? And second of all, which kind of Sepith do you have the most of? So let's take a look here. So let's show you guys what I mean by that. So when you fuse a defense 3, it requires 1,000 earth, right? When you fuse a wine 3 or an HP 3, it requires a certain amount of water Sepith, blue Sepith, etc. Same thing for fire, same thing for wind, and usually same thing for action. But if you look at cast 2, it requires Sepith from 3 different kinds. Same thing for EP cut 2, and same thing for EP2. So you see, these Sepith all require these quartz all require Sepith from the 3 spiritual elements. So in the Trails lore, there's the 4 basic elements, and there's those 3 spiritual elements. You will learn more about the difference in the next game, in future Trails games. But basically, there is a difference between the 4 basic elements and the 3 spiritual elements, and that is not just in the lore, but also in gameplay. They are linked together. Therefore, you will have less of these Sepith. Let's take a look at my inventory. See, right now I have like a lot of those 3 because I just bought like a bunch of earth and fire quartz, like defense 3 and attack 3. But most of the time, you've probably already noticed, you will have a lot less of the spiritual 3 elements, of the 3 spiritual elements than the base 4, which means if when you were talking about which quartz should you upgrade first, because you have a limited amount of Umaterial plus, then those 3 will be in priority. Now, because you make a lot of EP2 and Cast 2 and EP Cut 2, you're probably not gonna have as many space Sepith. So use one of your new material to combine hit 3. Hit 3 would be my second priority after action 3, because hit 3 on your physical DPS, whether it be Joshua, whether it be Agat, whether it be Estelle, whether it be Tita. Tita obviously needs one because she is locked to a 2 space quartz in her orbment. But yes, make sure to combine this, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. After that, simply look at your Sepith situation. Some of you guys might have a lot more wind Sepith than fire Sepith. Then you could use your U material to combine an attack 2, and simply use your Sepith to buy an Arts Defense 3. I meant attack 3, mine 3, HP 3, etc. So here, for example, I don't have a mine 3. I have a lot of water Sepith, so I can simply just buy one. So yeah, that was it for this section. Now let's talk about Sepith farming. If some of you guys might not have Sepith farmed in the previous chapters, and some of you guys might have, but not enough to, you know, keep you comfortable for the rest of the game. So let's just briefly talk about Sepith farming. So before we talk about the method of Sepith farming, let's talk about the best location for Sepith farming. So I am here at the, what is it? The south exit of Zeiss City, and we will be going there. I'm gonna speed this up for you guys. So make sure to travel to Wolf Fort to unlock the TP location. And then right at the exit of Wolf Fort, you will probably notice a certain, certain spot in the line of the map that is empty. And this is usually a sign of the hidden cave that is in every single region. That's how you identify them. That's how you try to find them, explore the entire region, and then look for the dip. And the dip is right here. You see these bushes? Well, there they are. And that is the cave, the Trat Plains Cave. So this cave has a lot of kinds of encounters. And there are basically two ways to farm Sepith here. Ooh, these guys, I love them. I love these guys. I like grinding Sepith with these guys. So there's two methods to grinding Sepith. If you've watched my previous two videos, you might already know how to grind Sepith, and that is fine. But we have a new version of this. Since I didn't do a video like this for Ruman, you guys might not know about this, but a really good way to farm Sepith without using AoE arts is with the second S-craft of Joshua, Black Fang. Black Fang has an S+ modifier and hits all enemies, so you don't have to worry about positioning your Arrow Storm. You can just use Black Fang. Another way to farm Sepith is with Estelle. In this chapter, Estelle and Joshua are the only ones that can really use arts that well, because the other three characters you meet in this chapter are physical attackers. They're pure physical attackers like Tita and Agat. Using Joshua or Estelle with an orbment setup that gives them access to Titanic Roar. Titanic Roar also hits all enemies, so you don't have to worry about positioning, and it has an S modifier, which is the same as Arrow Storm, but Arrow Storm has a smaller area, has a smaller AoE. So choose the method you like the best, either Titanic Roar or the S-craft of Joshua. It's gonna depend on which enemies you're gonna farm. If the enemies have a lower ADF and maybe even like an Earth weakness, then definitely Titanic Roar, or use the S-craft of Joshua. So you wanna go around. Also, if you wanna guarantee to one-shot them and you don't mind changing difficulties, definitely go to normal. I already put the game on normal to help me farm. You could also go to easy, but I'm a bit worried about easy because sometimes they die too fast, they die to counters. And if you're doing a one-shot build with a character, for example, if you're using an art, you have to wait until your character casts that art. Yes, English. Which is why I prefer Joshua's S-craft, because if you're using an art, you have to wait until that character cast the art. And the problem is not dying, the problem is them getting killed because of the counter passive. So if you go here, there's finishing blow and there's counter. So here, chance to retaliate when an ally is attacked. So it doesn't matter which ally gets attacked, it still will have a chance to retaliate. So try to honestly try to remove every single source of strength from Estelle if you're doing some Sepith farming, because Estelle doesn't need strength because she's not the one using the S-craft, and if you're doing the arts, then she doesn't need strength because she's using the art, right? So it doesn't make sense. So here you can go to her weapon and basically unequip it. Here I can't press Y. Why can I not unequip it? I'm not sure. But give her the worst weapon you have. That would be ideal. That's just like some things to min-max, because the more enemies stay alive until the cast, the better it is. Also, I just got fucked. Holy. So yeah, and for those who aren't, because I've been talking about like farming Sepith and using the S-craft, using the arts, but if you really don't know what I'm talking about, that's because the best way to farm Sepith is to one-shot all the enemies in one hit while getting the Sepith bonus. So let's do it with Estelle. So I want to click X, and then I want to ideally have the CP bonus right away. So if I don't, I basically just hold and run, do this again and again. See, now I have the crit Sepith, I have the crit AT bonus. I want the Sepith bonus AT bonus. So let's just keep running. Also, the main reason why I'm using an arts here instead of the S-craft of Joshua is because if we look at these enemies, they do have a big arts weakness. And if you look at them all, they all have a higher defense. Some of them, the difference is higher, but they do all have a higher defense than ADF. So using arts here to one-shot them is better. Now let's keep rolling. Usually I get it very fast. Now I'm getting a bit unlucky, but let's keep going. Okay, we have the Sepith bonus, finally. So now what you want to do, you want to try to go as far as possible to not... I am going to kill myself. I just ran by accident. I am going to kill myself. Okay. I think I'm going to leave this in because it's just funny, but holy shit, I want to kill myself. There we go. We got it again. Now let's make sure I don't run out of the battle. Thank you. And let's go far from them and cast our Titanic Roar. I have Mind 3 on Estelle and cast 2 EP Cut 2. This should be... Now, will she be able to one-shot them all? Honestly, probably not, which is why I recommend you guys to even go to easy difficulty. This can help. But let's just try this. Titanic Roar. Now, the hard part here is that these mobs are very strong. I'm doing this in my save that is at the beginning of the chapter. So I'm kind of weaker. So my characters are probably going to die. But I think you get the gist of it. So basically, you need to wait until you get the Sepith bonus and then cast an arch. If you've watched my previous Sepith farming videos, you can get a lot. Now here, okay, I got super lucky. My Joshua has Sepith bonus here. So we could technically cast Black Fang just to help Estelle one-shot them all. And even if I accidentally kill mobs, I will still get the Sepith because I have Sepith bonus myself. So let's just do that. Let's not use any Brave Attack because that will not count. This was especially very good because it stunned them all. So yes, depending on your difficulty, you will have to pre-damage them to then make sure you one-shot them with the Sepith boosted attack. And there we go. Don't use the Brave Attack. And here, I killed a couple of them. I killed all the blue ones with the Sepith bonus. And now look at this. Because of Black Fang earlier, my Joshua has Sepith bonus and double crit. Double crit means that it's a crit that does extra damage. And because of how many enemies I hit, and I have obviously the accessory that boosts my CP generation, I am back to, well, you guys can't see it. Let me hide my camera real quick. Yeah, so you see, I am back at 192 CP. So let's use Black Fang again, and this should seal the deal. Hopefully. There you go. How much? How much? How much? 235. That is actually, I missed one of them, so that's kind of unfortunate. But now 200 is actually not my best. I've been trying this farm on a bunch of different characters, and my max so far has been like 400. Now what should you do to upgrade your odds of getting more Sepith? Well, there's multiple ways. First of all, trying on different kind of enemies, seeing if it's easier to one-shot them. If you don't care about a difficulty, then make sure to put it on easy or very easy, and then just straight up go start the fight with Joshua and just click your S-Craft. This would be the best way to farm in super easy, because you don't need to risk waiting for casting your art and risking to kill enemies accidentally, because, you know, with counter and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the way to grind Sepith. Now, 200 of each might feel like it's not that much, but on average, you can get around 250/400. So doing this method like 4 times allows you to buy 1,000 Sepith quartz of every single element, because don't forget, you get 250 or 300 of every single Sepith. So in total, that's a shit ton of Sepith for only one battle. Keep that in mind, and that is how you farm Sepith in Zeiss. So, sorry if that was a bit redundant if you already watched my previous Sepith farming videos, but I can't just assume that everyone watched all my videos, so that's why we are, you know, doing a little reminder about how to farm Sepith. The equipment, the accessory I was talking about is obviously the Victory Headband. Victory Headband plus Feather Brooch plus, make sure that he's very fast, and then he also gets an insane amount of CP. Accuracy plus 100% is also very welcome to make sure you don't miss anyone with your S-Craft. So yeah, we talked about the best quartz, the priority on which quartz should you buy first, what should you do. Make sure to not waste all your Sepith on quartz that you could otherwise combine the weaker ones to get them. And yeah, get ready to buy all the quartz you need. If you want to know what are the best orbment setups, the best quartz, the best builds for every single character in Chapter 3, look forward to my video coming out tomorrow, the Best Quartz Zeiss Edition, which is the 3rd video in the series. And it was Aquano. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!